you're ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and call this meeting of the Eastern Delaware County Joint Recreation District to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Watson.
Here.
Mr. Coy. Here. Ms. Greiger.
Here.
Mr. Elliott.
Here.
Mr. Muzzacchio.
Here.
And Ms. Sabata.
Here.
All right, 6 present, we have a quorum.
Right, the first item on the agenda is approving the minutes from our last 2 meetings. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes? All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the November 3rd, 2025 regular meeting?
So moved.
Second. I'll second.
2 seconds.
Oh, you can have a second.
Second, third.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Muzzacchio.
Yes.
Ms. Greiger.
Yes.
Ms. Sabata.
Yes.
Mr. Elliott.
Yes.
Mr. Coy.
Yes.
Ms. Watson.
Yes.
6 yeas, motion approved.
Is there a motion to approve the meetings from the November 12th, 2025? I'm sorry, let me start over. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the November 12th, 2025 special meeting?
Motion to approve the November 12th meeting.
I'll second that. All right, Mr. Elliott.
Yes.
Mr. Coy.
Yes.
Mr. Muzzacchio.
Yes.
Ms. Sabata.
Yes.
Ms. Watson.
Yes.
And Ms. Greiger.
Yes.
6 yeas, motion approved.
All right, moving on to public comment. Is there anyone from the public present that would like to comment this evening? All right, hearing no one, we'll move on to the unfinished business portion of our agenda. The first item being a project update on the needs assessment and market analysis, youth sports focus group.
Yeah, so just a couple of points here. Did want to share with the group that, so again, I think you know that every other week I do meet virtually with the project team to get an update on where the project stands. They did give me an update in terms of the number of surveys that have been received. So we have 902 at the last count.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a tremendous number. Very happy with that result. You may recall that they were hoping to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 responses.
Yeah.
So yeah, really got a good response. I'm kind of recalling this. So you'll get a summary of the findings. They're working on the summary of the findings right now, and it's still open at this point. We did agree that once they begin to see a tail off, which I suspect has started to happen now, we have a meeting on Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about that. Probably make one more announcement to the community, the chance to participate in this first survey. So maybe leave it open for another week thereafter and go from there. So, but roughly, I think 80%, 81% of the respondents are from the 3 jurisdictions here. So the vast majority are coming from the residents themselves, which I think is really solid. That said, we did hear from others in and around the area as well, who could be a part of the membership pool, but not necessarily part of the founding organizations themselves. So not surprisingly, I would say the vast majority of the responses have been very positive, but not exclusively. I mean, there certainly are concerns about the financing and what happens thereafter. There are a lot of questions about the location, which of course we try to indicate are not yet, it's not yet known. And people, I think, understand that, but they still want to at least get that on the table. So like I said, so we'll have a report for you here, hopefully before the next meeting, on what the survey results say. The other thing then that came out of that is you probably heard there was a lot of discussion regarding youth sports. And so they had asked if I could help put together a stakeholder group, or I'm sorry, a focus group of youth sports representatives that might be able to participate in an online call sometime later this month. So I did send out to the group a request. If you could send me the names and contact information for anybody that you know that's in youth sports. So I appreciate the responses I did get. So from the chair, thank you. Ms. Greiger, thank you very much. Greg, definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think as I'd indicated, I know the baseball and the softball contacts, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Eisner? Eisner, yeah. So I know.
Did invite him to the meeting today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know there have been several attempts to reach out to him. I spoke to him for just a brief moment. he would certainly be one of those that we want to make sure we get included. So he's Big Walnut Youth Sports Organization, so a little bit broader pool. But if you know of any sports related, doesn't have to be anybody that was at the meeting. I think the chair had indicated it may try to contact the hockey groups as well. We want to hear from all of them to be a part of this discussion. Doesn't mean that they'll be the only focus group, but that's, we think, one of the key focus groups that kind of emerged from the discussion. So yeah, if you could let me know by the end of this week, that'd be great. And like I said, we'll then do the outreach to them and have a call that Pizzuti will help facilitate.
All right, moving on to the new business portion of our agenda. The first item on the agenda is resolution number 2025-13. It's a resolution amending the fiscal year 2025 budget and appropriating funds.
So we do need to make one more adjustment to the budget before the end of the year. So in your packet, probably should have numbered the pages. I didn't do that. Apologize for that. But amended fiscal year 2025 budget. In the packet, we've got the budget revision number 1, which has been approved, which has a total appropriation of $46,100. So the changes proposed in revision 2, you can see that we're a little bit over on legal expenses for the year. So we need to move the money from the leftover funds from the insurance line item. So that ended up being like $463. And then I moved another $500 from the consultant line item to basically increase the legal fees from $10,000 to $10,963. And our expenses to date are $674.69. So that'll cover us for the balance of the year. I have talked to Mike Ringel about that. So Mike, that's one of the reasons you don't see Mike here this evening, is we're just trying to get through the balance of the year with the budget that we have. And then what remains in the consulting services line item, just a little short of $8,300, covers us for the last bill that we'll get from them this year. They are charging us about just a little over $8,100 per month. So the only expense that we haven't paid is the December bill for the consultants. So those are the changes to it. And in order to pay our expenses, we need to approve an amendment. So
Do we need 3 readings or can we approve it?
pardon me?
Do we need 3 readings or can we
Yeah.
approve it? Okay.
We can approve it this evening.
I did have one note to the
Yep.
the resolution that was prepared. It says that we met virtually on December 1st, 2025. I think we can get rid of that word virtually.
Thank you. Yes. We did not meet virtually on the 1st. We met in person.
We are here.
Got it. Thank you. Any other revisions? Is there a motion to approve as amended?
I'll make the motion to approve as amended.
I'll second it. Moved by Mr. Elliott, seconded by Mr. Coy. All right, Mr. Elliott,
Yes.
Mr. Coy. Yes. And Ms. Greiger,
Yes.
Ms. Watson,
Yes.
Mr. Muzakio,
Yes.
and Ms. Savata.
yes,
6 yeas, motion approved.
All right, that takes us to resolution number 2025-14, a resolution adopting a budget and appropriating funds for fiscal year 2026.
Yeah, so this one also has the virtually on December, so we'll clean, sorry about that. So in the packet, you'll see the budget proposal for 2026. This is the one we had talked about at a couple of meetings prior. Total budget of $100,000 for the year. I do know that, as we've talked a little bit about, I know that Berkshire and Sunbury are working toward contributions in the $50,000 range. So we'll continue to work with Galena to just make sure that their proportionate share is included, but do anticipate that we'll be able to generate local grant funds from the jurisdictions at this level. So the appropriation, as we talked about last time, $3,000 for insurance. The legal fees did go up to $15,000. We will have auditing and accounting expenses this year, and then the balance is consulting services of $80,000. So $80,000 finishes out the existing needs assessment and market analysis, and then gets us started with some preliminary design work and estimating services next year if we do want to try to get to the ballot.
Does the 15 in legal fees, Does that include the assistance that we'll need to get on the ballot?
Yeah, so when I talked to Mike a little bit about this, so the legal fees associated with the bond, the levy or the bond, which the language, the bond or the ballot language, sorry, that's the word I'm trying to say. The ballot language, that will actually all be covered if in fact the ballot initiative is approved. If it's not, the 15,000 is adequate to cover their legal expenses to get us to that point. So he felt comfortable with this number.
Okay, good.
I just have a general question. So if we don't have firm commitments yet to the full 100,000, can we actually appropriate it?
Well, I mean, our budget isn't approved. Berkshire's isn't approved. I mean, I think the language basically says that it has to, what did you say? Pending approval. Appropriate from revenues of the district in the amounts established by the amended budget, the budget. So, so it does need, it appropriates from the revenues of the district. So, I mean, if we don't have the adequate revenues, we can't spend that funding. I mean, we could wait until the first of the new year if we'd like to do that. The problem is, I think we will have some expenses that we need to incur. Again, we'll have one more for this year that we'll be able to do with this year's appropriation. But if it takes us a while to meet in January, we'll be incurring some expenses without an approved budget. So, I mean, if we want to balance, if we want to pull that back a little bit because we're not confident that all three jurisdictions are in, we can do that. But again, this was kind of where we had landed in the last discussion. And I think there have been conversations with all three jurisdictions about next year's budget.
If a jurisdiction doesn't agree for any reason or can't come up, we can always amend the
We
budget
could
down.
absolutely amend
So,
it. Yep.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Yep. That's a great point. Yep.
I'm not sure.
So with that, then is there a motion to?
I'll make the motion to approve.
So I'm sorry, before we get there, I saw in section 1, we are talking about an amended budget attached to this resolution as Exhibit A. I think we need to just refer to it as the budget.
Yep.
And I was just looking through to try and see if there were any other references to it as an amended budget.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
I'm sorry, so I think that takes us back to your motion.
Yeah, I'll, with the
With that,
revision.
Yep.
Yeah, as noted. But yes, I'll make the motion to approve.
But virtually, we're gonna take that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep, mentioned too. Yep.
We're getting rid of virtually and amended.
I'll second that.
All right, moved by Mr. Elliott, seconded by Mr. Musacchio. Mr. Elliott,
Yes.
Mr. Musacchio,
Yes.
Ms. Savata,
Yes.
Ms. Greiger,
Yes.
Mr. Coy,
Yes.
and Ms. Watson.
Yes.
All right, motion approved 6-0 with those two revisions. Thank you.
All right, that takes us to the next item on our agenda, which is the JRD website preview.
Yeah, so we had talked about trying to get some, I guess, to stop using, not that we won't continue to use the social media accounts of the jurisdictions themselves, but it really would be helpful if we could direct individuals to the site, to our own site. So with that, let me see if I can figure out how to share this so that others can see it. There we go. All right, so this is, I mean, if think about this mostly as, I guess, a landing page that gets adjusted a little bit over time. So the account can be transferred to the JRD. So it's set up through Sunbury, but it's not a Sunbury. Again, it's not a URL that we can't transfer on to somebody else or back to the JRD. So in here, for example, the community and, this is just trying to kind of come up with something that looks welcoming. On this landing page, here's an example of complete the community survey, but of course, if once the survey goes down, this button becomes, we can take it off this landing page and put something else there if you want to. Doesn't mean that we wouldn't want to continue to solicit feedback. In fact, there is an option down here for them to drop us a line about anything at any point. Meetings and minutes, then this would take them to the city of Sunbury's account where all the meetings and minutes have been kept. Now, again, you can still find it on the city's website, but this would be a much easier way for people to go rather than trying to find our website, find the meetings, and then go to it. They could click here. It would send you directly to the meetings. Just try to put an image up here and a little bit about what the JRD is all about at this point. Here we have placeholders. Essentially, we'll take your pictures so people can see your smiling mugs and know who's on our JRD.
Who created this little logo? I like it. I'm curious.
Yeah, this was done by a member of our staff just to
Okay.
kind of get something up there.
Yeah.
But your picture will be there, so don't think of it as unless somebody fights me so much that I can't get your picture up there. But I will get your picture up there, just so you know. Even if we have to come, I don't know. We'll get a picture of you up here. Anyway, so we could also build this out a little bit more with information about who you are and kind of, why you're on the board or whatever the case might be, if we wanted to do something like that. But it doesn't have to be that. Again, we're just trying to put some faces with the names so people will begin to understand who's a part of the JRD. And then, like I said, so this is essentially becomes a landing page. This next public meeting, again, this is just, again, a placeholder, obviously. But every time we schedule a meeting, we'll be able to put the meeting up here so people will be able to go here and find the next meeting, if you will. And so at this point, what we could go live with this tomorrow in this form, which I think is what we'd like to do if you feel like it's at least close enough. And then, but I also really want your feedback on, the other types of things you would want to see on here. Documents might be another thing we would want to have, all the documents are under meetings and minutes, but people may want to search for documents separately, like the intergovernmental agreement that we have that formed the JRD, or the like. And when Pizzuti begins to provide documents back to us, that might be a convenient way to go find the document again, as opposed to trying to find a meeting where the document might be embedded. So documents for sure, but again, also interested in other types of things you'd like to see on the site.
Can we just have a link to like our partners? Obviously, right now our only one is Pizzuti, but that would just link to their a page and then their website so that they can see. And as we bring on a GC and other contractors, and then also in the future, if we have donors or sponsors, I'd love to highlight them on here as well. Obviously, we don't have any of that now, but just.
Well,
in the future.
Could you have something on there interested in helping?
Yeah, interested in donating
land.
Yeah.
Whatever you may need. Interested in helping or anything else like that.
Yeah. I like that.
We'll need a donation policy first before people.
Yeah. So sorry, this is just policies about I guess who controls access to this and who has authority to make changes, or even, who do those the questions go to, things like that.
Well, right now they're going to come to the city of Sunbury staff, but I would think that we would want to have Jody as maybe a primary point of contact, maybe as an admin to the site. Not that you have to do all the admin work, but just so that there's a board member that's kind of managing the site a little bit. But at the moment, it just kind of funnels to the staff, so funnels to the Sunbury staff. So, but policies, that'd be a good one. We should get the policies up there that have been approved. Yep.
Yeah, because I was also just thinking, I know we have access to various, I think they're template policies through our Ohio plan. I'm wondering if, we can go see, what's available to us just as part of what we already pay, to have some policies in place that might cover some of the things that we might want to make sure we have. Yeah, because we do need to have something in place before we go out and solicit people to give us donations.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and that's in fact one of the things the city of Sunbury is working on, is trying to firm up its policy regarding donations for other things. So.
Yeah, I assume we have authority to take donations, but yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to create an account that calls out the donations separately so we can manage that and make sure that the uses are a public purpose, which of course all your expenditures are public purpose. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of accounting behind the scenes mostly.
So currently the meeting and the minutes go back to Sunbury. Is there a way to extract that and have it be hosted on the website itself instead of it? I feel like Sunbury is doing a lot of the legwork. I don't want it to seem like, hey, Sunbury is doing all the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Is there a way to pull that away from it so it looks like it's equal? Maybe it is redundant, but
Yeah, I mean, I can see if that's possible.
Okay.
Too. Sure.
But then would that not make it incumbent on one of us to be updating?
Updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. Possibly, but
In the future, I know a lot of that's gonna change as we go along.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so many changes to this.
Right.
Maybe just to get started.
get up and running.
Yeah.
and what about, is there a web hosting cost, like to have the website and the domain and?
There is, it's pretty modest. Yeah, actually something else we probably need to kind of fit into the budget
Correct.
in a way. Yeah, let me get more details on that, and maybe that becomes our first revision to the budget to make sure we've got that set aside. At the moment, again, we have the intergovernmental agreement that basically says any expenditure of the board is split, proportionally among the political jurisdictions. So that's the way we've been doing it up to this point. I do anticipate that in 2026, I'm going to ask the jurisdictions to then transfer cash into the JRD account, and you'll start writing the checks as opposed to the city staff doing that. So, and I wanted to try to do that at the beginning of the year so that for auditing purposes, there would be a pretty clean break between kind of when it was dealt with in one way and when it's dealt with in separate. I mean, I know the city of Sunbury, we've talked about, making sure that our cash gets into the account early so that there's cash at the beginning of the year for that purpose. So yeah, I mean, we definitely are trying to make sure that everything we do, ultimately can be transferred to the JRD in full. But right now, without a, separate staff, it is a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
So if this were to go live, so with the questions and comments and things people could input, I think you said it goes to City of Sunbury staff. I mean, what would they do with it from there?
Well, I mean, we'll probably try to answer the questions that we can. And if there's something else, if there's something we can't answer, or something comes up that we want to make sure the board is aware of, I mean, we'll just get that on a future agenda and share that with you, or find a way to maybe, if it's more time sensitive, we could push something out to the group just so you're aware of a question that's been asked, if you will. But I think we'll probably be able to answer most of the questions that we get, or push the information over to the consultants, because I suspect a lot of it is probably going to be related to the needs assessment at this point, but yeah. All right, so definitely heard links to partners, policies, other documents, meetings, minutes, whatever, again, to the extent that we can get that pulled over and be kind of standalone.
Sure.
We'll see if we can do that. I'm not sure if this has that capability at the moment, or if you have to add pages in order to get to that point. But
Maybe for the time being, we just leave it out of this. I'm just saying, I just don't want it to feel like one is doing more than the rest.
understood. And then I'm going to ask the question about admin and admin rights as well, and just see if, if it's okay, Jody. Her as the contact, unless you feel like there's somebody else on the board that you'd like to have serve in that role.
Good.
I was gonna say.
Okay. This is a kind of related question. Are there any regulations on us using an AI chatbot for this website? So if they have a question, instead of filling out this and it goes to a static email, comes back, eventually goes back, could it search through all of our information and respond?
That's just. That makes me nervous.
Same.
It's like,
Same.
It has information, but just pay to it. That's all it has to do. And instead of it's a fancier search, right?
yeah, I think.
So if you want to learn more, here it is. Sometimes it's hard to search website,
No, I get what you're saying,
but.
but I don't,
Remember,
there's lots of things in my mind that are, yeah. No, I think it's something to look into.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
not yet.
But
Yeah.
I'd say
I'd say
I can
not
tell you
yet,
that website doesn't do that. It goes to an individual who, tries to help sort through how to answer the question. Some of them come to me, but they don't all come to me.
And I certainly don't purport to be super knowledgeable on the topic, but I imagine that might be something that a cyber policy that we would adopt would deal with, although I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
Might be able to get some
That's-
training on that. Your pilot plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chatbot.
What URL would this be? It is. How do you?
I was hoping I'd see it at the top too.
Would it just?
We
be-
have it.
EDCJRD.
I don't know what it is though.
I think it's great. I think we need a website.
Oh, absolutely.
You definitely need a website.
Yeah, people have asked.
I'll send it to you. So
Yeah.
what is the URL?
Yeah, it's so small.
Just things.
Is it on there?
It.
I see GoDaddy, but I can't see what it's on.
Dude, gotcha. Exactly. Yeah, it's not on here, so no. I'll send that out too. That's a great question. What is it? Question, right? I mean, it's like Eastern.
Is it a .gov? We can have a .gov for it.
I don't know. Like I said, let me check.
I'm curious as to, yeah, okay.
Let me, yeah.
Not AI, right, Bernie?
it's
The site adapts to your needs.
Yeah.
All right, I will send that to the members. Send it to you.
Or you see.
Or just EDCJRD dot, whatever, maybe. Whatever.
It's something like that. It's something like that.
It's gotta be something simple.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Eastern Delaware County Joint Recreation District .com, sure, but.
No, we talked about shortening that, so. Although most people won't know what EDJ,
Just buy both sites and have one directed to the other.
EC, yeah, whatever. There you go. Now buy both sites. Listen,
I mean, it's only
who wants to spend all the money?
Yes,
like $14 a year to buy the site.
It is, yeah.
It's cheap.
Cheap.
you know what? We have a budget that we have to abide by here.
Who buys it?
Maybe the AI. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Good to get that going.
All right, we'll get that started, understanding that, it's just the beginnings, it's bare bones. But at least we'll have a site we'll be able to point to rather than try to say, yeah, go find me over there.
I would also say, Joey Thomas, who lives in the city of Sunbury, has volunteered to shoot. He's a photographer and a videographer to shoot things to be put on the website or social media. So just, he called me and offered it up to us. And
He does great work.
yes, very good work.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be trying to be building some content, so yeah, we'll look to all sources to kind of help us with that. Okay. All right. I think I've got what I need there.
Moving on to community center site visits.
Chair. Yes, so I did want to let you know that I know some people are interested in seeing the Bob Crane Center in Hilliard. I do have a date set to tour that if people are interested in doing that. I just need to make sure I don't get a quorum of people to that. So if you are interested in going, it is scheduled for December 12th at 11 a.m. So send me a note if after you've checked your schedule, if you want to go, and I will confirm that we're not surpassing the quorum issue. If we are, then I'll sort through that with the members and figure out another strategy.
Could you say the date and time again?
December 12th, so that's a Friday
7
At time.
at 11. Okay.
at 11 a.m.
And I'm sorry, that's Hilliard. Hilliard.
Yeah, that's Upper Arlington.
Okay, okay, that's
Upper
right.
Arlington. Yeah. So, it's a, a very different type of community center. again, the scale may not necessarily match what we are going to do here, but good to kind of see the range of programming. They've got a medical partner over there as well, maybe worth kind of exploring as well. So, okay.
You ready to move on to information?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. All right, so appointment of board members. We've come to the end of the first year of our term. I do know that Sunbury has one term that is expiring, so we're working with council to get that term renewed. That's Ms. Greiger. Mr. Elliott, you are the other term that expires at the end of this year.
Okay.
So I'll need you to work with Tyler to get that renewed. I mean, I'll reach out to him as well, let him know that.
Okay.
The other two, what I don't know is who got the 2-year term and who got the 3-year term. Do you know by chance?
I think I got what 2027, so that's.
Yeah, I thought it was end of next year.
So you, okay, good, because I have a roster. That was the only one I wasn't clear on. And then Maria, you are,
She had a 3-year term.
yeah, you're a 3-year term, so you're a couple of years removed from being.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Todd, 3 years. You 2 years. Okay. I'll get the roster updated and then get that out so everybody knows what that is. So, okay. Yeah. All right. So the other thing is we probably should talk about then our next meeting. We'll be into the new year. So this becomes part of the hardest part of the meeting.
Do you have a sense of whether, you know, when it would be most productive in January for us to meet? Do you anticipate needing us to get together fairly quickly?
I'll know more on Wednesday, but I think as long as we're kind of after that first week in January, I think any time thereafter is probably going to work. And I think at that point, I will be inviting Pizzuti to come back to provide an update on where things stand at that point. So
when you mean after the first week in January, do you mean after the 5th or after the 12th? Like the week of the 5th?
I guess I mean no sooner than January 5th. Although I think January 5th probably gets to be a little tight because that's the holiday weekend. So, I mean, it's the back end of the weekend. So,
This is Maria. I'm not available until the week of the 12th.
week of the 12th. Okay.
I'm traveling the week of the 12th. I can be potentially here virtually, but I'll be out of town.
Now, thinking about where the consultants are with their next meeting and community engagement, I think they mentioned January, February. We're supposed to be done in March. Once we hit January, March is around the corner. The earlier we do this, I want to push on the consultants to get that next meeting scheduled in January, honestly.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's going to slide too far out.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
So the earlier we can meet in January, I would request that the consultants figure something out the 3rd or the last week of January to get community engagement once we hear a little bit more. So I don't think we want to push it past the week of the 12th at all.
I don't think so either. That's why I said, don't schedule it around me. Just,
So
I agree with you, Bernie.
5th, if that's out, that's fine. 6, 7, 8. I mean, I'll put it in there.
Well, Maria, I think you said that you couldn't do before the 12th. Is that? Is
You
the
do well, not really, because we're out of the country.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, how does like the 12th or the 13th?
Either one
Well,
of those
actually,
is fine with me.
The 13th is not good for me.
I can do the 12th. I can be here
12.
more than likely.
Could we do 7? Does that work for people as a start time? 6 is kind of pushing it for me, but I mean, I can figure it out if that's an issue.
7 is okay with me.
12 at 7.
What does that do for
Does that
you,
work?
Daryl?
That's fine.
Are you sure?
We just have to provide them dinner.
So January 12th, Greg, you'll be remote.
No, I should, on the 12th, I should be here.
Oh, okay.
I haven't booked my travel plans yet. I do know that I'm going to be, I'll be leaving either on the 12th or on the 14th. I just don't know yet. Oh, excuse me, on the 13th.
Okay. And then I can't recall whether or not we elect officers that first meeting.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll check the bylaws.
yeah.
again to see what
Yeah,
goes.
but I
Yeah.
don't know that yet. Okay.
So those change every year.
I can't remember. So, yeah, it's in the
I think it
bylaws. You
does,
can
yeah.
look. Yeah. I just can't remember if it would be the beginning of the year or a year from when they were first chosen.
Is the meeting gonna be here?
Do it here.
You need not be present to be nominated.
No. Is the meeting gonna be here?
The
Sorry.
meeting will
Yeah.
be here. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask that question as well. I think, maybe we do that because the community meetings really, I think Berkshire does end up being the better location for that. And if we're gonna try to do a meeting in late January, early February, that'll put that meeting at
Okay.
Berkshire, so. Now I'll talk with the Pizzuti team on Wednesday. I'm sure we will actually start talking about that January meeting. So, the January, public outreach meeting. So, there's still a couple more opportunities before the end of the year to kind of firm down or sort of lock in a date. So I'll, as I know more, I will push that information to you, digitally, just for information purposes.
So we'll put it on the website. We'll be home free.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, first post.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right. So January 12th, 2026, 7 PM, Sunbury Town Hall.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the consultant meeting, the next one, the one after that, one of my neighbors attempted to go there, said the parking lot was full, which is great news to have. And then to turn around, I was like, how do we handle that? Because I would love to have more people there. Do we have a bigger venue or anything else?
We need a rec center to host.
Yeah. Or was it the library? Was that better? Worse?
I don't think the library is a better option. But I don't think they've got a space that's big enough. Because I've been looking at that space as a possible place for some other community events, and it just ends up being too small. Yeah. Yeah, school gets to be a little bit challenging. Churches might be. Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
503C, they don't charge for nonprofit. We can check. It did change recently, but if you're nonprofit,
Well, they charge the nonprofit sports organizations.
for like custodial, like if they need, it's after hours of custodial use.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's usually what they'll charge you for is the after
Yeah,
hours.
after hours. But if it's during the week, they're
Maybe
there.
we have to amend the budget.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just something to think about for our next community meeting.
Okay.
I think the first one, I didn't realize how many people we would have, which was
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
But I think the next one, I think is gonna have more. More and more people are hearing about it, and more people have opinions, which is great. Let's capture that.
Okay, good point. Maybe a church would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have space over in Galena, right? I mean,
I don't think there's more parking. I was thinking about, I
Yeah.
really think there's more parking.
Okay.
And there's a decent amount of parking at Berkshire.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
probably about the same, it's definitely less hectic parking than we have.
Okay.
So this is Maria. It's my understanding the Sunbury Library has big space that you can put aside or reserve.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hold more than the Berkshire Town Hall is gonna hold. I think that space, well, we had 90 plus people in that room. There's nothing at the library that's gonna hold 90 people.
Okay, thank you.
We looked at it, for the mayor's state of the city address as an option, and like I said, it's not, there just aren't enough. There's just not enough space there. Now, when they build their new facility, there'll be an opportunity maybe. We even looked to try to kind of use that open space where the books are and they're sort of an entry, but even that wouldn't accommodate enough people, so.
I would check with the Methodist Church. I know my daughter's cheerleading gym is having a Christmas party there in their basement, and Sunbury Christian, I know they loan their stuff out to local plays and things like that.
Yeah.
I've been in community events at both of those churches. I'd start with those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if we're looking for a bigger space, then it's gonna have to be a church probably.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll talk to the team about that on Wednesday. Again, I don't know if we're focused yet necessarily on the dates, but I'll make sure that they understand we're looking at maybe a different location.
So definitely not the middle school auditorium, like they never,
You can rent
That's
it.
another one that we
You can
looked
rent-
at.
You can look and rent it.
it's a nice space, I mean, I don't think they utilize it.
They don't. Another one that we looked at as well, it's not ADA accessible. Yeah, is the issue there. And
That's,
With the middle school one?
the middle school auditorium is not.
Really?
wow. That's right.
I thought they were, okay.
Surprised yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know, maybe the gym, all right, we could go to a gym but then we gotta bring chairs. I
We
mean,
have sports during the week in the gym. The auditorium would be the only thing probably available.
Correct.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That space in the high school behind the cafeteria, I don't know what that space is called. Where they have that like auditorium seating, it's another option.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, we use that. Is it the Commons? Is that what they call that space? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
right,
it's
I mean,
too
that's,
expensive to, even if the church wasn't available, I don't think being a nonprofit. If the custodians are already working, I can pull up the facility use sheet and send it
I think
out,
it'd be
but I don't think it's
yeah.
that.
I mean, I think it's a nice, I don't know, just feels right to me, but.
school feels right.
An auditorium.
Definitely check, I think.
I bring my computer, but I can see what I can find.
come on, Jody.
I know.
All right, well, we could definitely, we'll check that as well. Yeah, they're probably gonna be costs associated with custodial services and those types of things. And then if you need IT support, there's also generally a cost associated with that too. So, but we'll see. I wouldn't rule it out. Okay.
Great. Well, I think that takes us to the end of our agenda. Anything further?
I got-
Motion to
I got it
adjourn?
here.
All motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Coy, seconded by Ms. Watson. Mr. Coy,
Yes.
Ms. Watson,
Yes.
Ms. Sabata,
Yes.
Mr. Mizakio,
Yes.
Mr. Elliott,
Yes.
and Ms. Gregor.
Yes.
6 yeas, motion approved.